Bellator welterweight. Fernando, I want to see if I can say this right. The Menifee Maniac Gonzalez. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
The Maniac!
What's up, guys?
All right, well, Fernando, we're also being joined by my co-host, Mr. Brad Storm. Fernando.
How's it going, bro?
That's good, man. Just getting home. We're at some boxing, amateur boxing today. It's pretty cool.
How many matches were on the promotion?
What was that?
How many matches?
It was a 3-day tournament. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I wasn't able to make it to the first 2 days, but I went out there today to go and support them. The man that runs it, his name's Steve Herman. He works for USA Boxing now, but he started this program, I think, like 5 to 6 years ago, and now it's one of the biggest tournaments in Southern California for amateur boxing. It's pretty cool, man. All these little kids from all ages, pretty much. They're getting down today. I took my son, and he was all pumped up, and he's like, "Hey, maybe I could do this next year." So I was kind of happy.
Yeah, you're like, hell yeah.
He's about to give Daddy a heart attack already.
Nah, man, I've been sitting back, pulling him away from it just so he kind of wanted to do it on his own. I didn't want to force it on him. If you do that too soon, like a lot of times kids don't want to do it, and so yeah, I kind of kept him away from it. But now he's asking to train, so I'm kind of happy with that.
Yeah, we can bond. Like when you're a parent, it's really hard, like, because you know when you see them do things and stuff, what they're capable of and stuff like that, and you want to see them do well. But at the same time, you want to make sure that their goals, not what you think they're capable of. So I absolutely get where you're coming from, where you want to kind of pull back there.
Yeah. I want to make sure she wants it.
I have a stepdaughter who's as far as height and size and build, she's bigger than Chris Cyborg. I have a picture from her from when they were shooting Fight Valley. But now she's getting to be that 16, 17, so she's getting to that point where she wants to go and do other things. So she hasn't trained in a while as far as her jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And, kind of like a part of me kind of feels upset about it, but also at the same time, she's a freaking teenager. Her mind's going to be going 1,000 different directions all at the same time. If it's something that she truly loves, then she'll eventually come back to it. So I'm not really too worried there. But I know what you mean when it's like you don't want to impose your will on them.
Yeah. I wanted him to do it and me not force it on him. But, it just kind of made me feel good. I mean, like, for sure, like you said, it'd be nerve-wracking to see him actually fight. But, if he wants to do it, I don't think I could stop him. But I definitely help him, train him, and hopefully he does good and stuff. But more so just to enjoy it,
Or the thing is, are you worried that he's going to have a style more like yours instead of being proficient and technical? Is that what you're more afraid of?
Well, no, he's got a lankier frame, so I mean, I'm sure between me and his uncle, we could help him. My brother, he's a little bit a longer frame, so he knows the distance, so I'm sure that we could both help him out and stuff. And like you've seen in the past, it's not always the best thing if the dad's the main coach, so just to throw in some input would be better.
Hey, Fernando, you could develop a $500 shoe and sell it online.
Oh no, I knew this was coming.
What?
he's taking a shot at Lorenzo Ball, sitting there saying that you could.
Lorenzo Ball, my man. That's his dad, LeBron. Yeah, guy's going into the NBA. His dad's got a $500 shoe he's putting up for sale, and the kid hasn't even played in the NBA yet, so a lot of pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the things you gotta love about MMA. It's one thing you gotta love about MMA. It hasn't gotten to that point yet where you see parents are running these kids these athletes' careers, and they're absolutely insane, thankfully. I mean, we've seen it in plenty of other sports, hockey, basketball, obviously, but I'm glad it hasn't reached MMA yet, thankfully.
Yeah, I guess not.
Hey, Maniac, what'd you think of last night's heavyweight fight?
Yeah, I called that fight, but it was an awesome fight, man. I just like how Mark Hunt just walked him down and let him gas himself out and just slowly broke him down. But yeah, that was a beautiful fight.
How awesome is it to watch a guy follow the game plan that his coaches designed for him, and then execute it in there? You saw, it was a great fight back and forth, but yeah, you saw it, over time. Even in you watch that Max Holloway fight, it's the same thing. These guys are doing what their coaches set them out to do. How important is it for you to follow your game plan your coaches set up for you?
I don't know. I think maybe I do it a little different, but from what I've seen with Mark Hunt, guys that have been fighting for that long, and this kind of, they kind of already know their game plan. They already know what they can do. I have guys that help me. One of my main training partners, Isaiah Alvarado. He's like my coach per se, but I normally come up with my game plans on my own, just because I kind of just came up doing that. But I have the guys help me out, getting me ready. Obviously, the sparring and the push, But I normally come up with my own game plans for my fights.
Do you watch tape on fighters? Do you watch tape? You watch tape on your opponents?
I do, just to see some of the stuff that they like doing, and just go off of their mistakes and see what I know I can capitalize on. And that's normally how I form my game plans. But I know exactly what works for me and what doesn't. So, I normally try to put myself in tough positions where I know that fight might end up, and that's normally where I work, because I know how to fight, so I just need to be ready for bad positions.
And there's a lot of interesting going on in the promotion you're fighting for too. I know we're talking a little UFC right now, but I got to ask you because obviously you fought MVP in the past. What are your thoughts on this whole nonsense that's been going on with him and Paul Daly? He obviously released a video basically calling him Paula Tampax Daly, basically, because he's been offered the fight 3 times this year. He's turned the fight down 3 times, and after the loss to McDonald, he, acting like an unprofessional weirdo, basically causing a ruckus in the arena after getting his lunch handed to him, so to speak. A lot of interesting things happening in the Bellator welterweight division. What are your thoughts on at least the aspect of MVP and Mr. Daly?
Well, I know that, one thing is to be talking, but if you see the scheduled fight was Paul Daly versus MVP. Paul Daly's the only one that fought on the card, so I don't know who really backed out of the fight. I saw one guy fight and one guy didn't. So to be saying that he didn't back up,
if I remember correctly, I didn't mean to cut you off, Fernando. If I remember correctly, MVP was supposed to be on the card. He got hurt. He was supposed to fight Derek Anderson at welterweight that night. He was supposed to be on the card. He got injured. He had to pull out. I guess he took advantage of the opportunity of him still being there, trying to, keep himself relevant with another high-profile matchup, and called him out and tried to cause a scene or whatever. But
yeah, but
according to
the actual
Page,
fight,
that he's been offered the fight 3 times this year. He's turned the fight down 3 times. That he's not entertaining it anymore. So whatever. that's the way it looks.
But before it went Paul Daly McDonald, it was Paul Daly MVP. That's what it was originally, and then it switched to McDonald, and then MVP ended up coming back on to fight Anderson, and then got injured again. I can't remember if he was injured supposedly when he got out of the Paul Daly fight, and then they scheduled McDonald instead, and then he got back on to fight Anderson. I mean, yeah.
I think you might be right. I think I remember that he initially said he was hurt.
I'm right.
Well,
I'm right. I know the
you've been in there with Paige, bro. You've been in there with Paige.
Yeah.
You know, and I know a lot of people think highly of the guy, and I think that he has something that sells. But I also think that he has a lot of holes in his game.
They both do. You both can see that they don't have a good ground game. You know, pretty much. I mean, if you saw the Cyborg fight, he got controlled I thought he lost the first round against Cyborg until he got caught with the knee. But he did smart, where he was holding on properly. But if you see, he's actually looking for his corner's help to hear exactly what it is he needs to do. That's not a good thing when you're fighting somebody as experienced as, somebody that's going to be good, like Damian Maia or something like that, who is just going to float. You have to be able to flow with him, or you're going to lose. So you can see he doesn't have that fluidity in the ground.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you could even put him in. You could even put an MVP in there with a guy like Josh Koscheck, and if he's able to get his arms around your lower half, you're going for a ride. He's going to make it a rough night for you. Where Michael's going to be the best is where he's going to be fighting these guys who are going to want to trade punches with him. He's going to look good against all those type of guys that may not be as fluid of a striker that he is. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're out of the fight either, because it's MMA and anything can happen in this game.
And to be honest, in my opinion, I think MVP would beat Paul Daly. Paul just comes, he's nuts, and he's going to come forward and go crazy. But you can't really do that with MVP. You have to be smart, in and out movement. Get him to commit, and then you can catch him. Paul just comes forward, and that leaves him open, So I honestly think if they actually fought, I think MVP would take it. But
hey, Maniac, real quick. Maniac, let me ask you something, man, because after that fight, he calls out MVP. Do you usually call out fighters after you lose? Is that a new thing going on?
If you honestly, they never interview me after my fights. I haven't had the chance.
What the hell, Bellator?
Yeah, I at least had two co-main events, and I haven't been interviewed. But no, honestly, I think it's good. I mean, we're in a fight business. If you're gonna call somebody out, you can do it in the wrong way, talking trash. But honestly, if I call somebody out, it's because I want to test myself against the best guys. I've said it since I've joined Bellator. It's the one thing that I've always wanted to do, and the only reason I didn't leave the sport was I wanted to be able to test myself against the best. So if I'm calling somebody out, it's because I think they're one of the best, and I want to prove that I'm better. And if I'm not, then he's going to kick my ass. But I at least wanted the opportunity to do it.
And Maniac, you said it. You pinned it right on the donkey's tail, man. It's like you want to test yourself against the best. But I know there's people out there, male or female, that just want that big payday. And so then they make that call out. I don't know necessarily if they care about getting that test or not, but they just want to cash in on what's to come if they can get that fight.
Of course. I mean, we're in the sport because we love it, but at the same time, we want to be able to be secure that, we're going to have money to retire. A lot of these guys are still broke. The guys that are started this off. So
it's a shame.
That's a concern. And that's where the union shit that everybody's talking about. The union stuff that everybody's talking about should happen, because we need to be getting paid that amount of money so we're secure in our future. But
do you think that happens before 2020?
I pray that it does. That way I at least catch the back end of it, because, I would definitely hate to be struggling at the end of this, So obviously it's going to be on my part to make smart investments as well, but we definitely need the money increase there. If we can get that, it's going to help a lot of people and better fights.
Are you okay with? Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
No, you can finish. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, are you okay? I mean, I think this is a plus in my opinion, where guys and girls can go outside of MMA and do kickboxing matches or go box. Do you agree with that? Because like you said, they got to make money, and the more gates that are open for you to go promote yourself and fight, the more you're gonna make. So, what's your opinions on branching out and doing other combat sports?
I've shown it. I have a world title in Muay Thai. That's another reason why I took the kickboxing match with Paul Daly. It just leaves openings. It leaves more options. And since I've already done it, I have a title there. It gives me a room to kind of go in there and say, hey, I don't need to take on the champion. Give me somebody. I'll work my way up and start working in here too, But obviously, if I can get in boxing, I would love to do that as well. That's another one that I haven't got to do, and I would love to be able to win a world title there. So I've got one in MMA, Muay Thai, and I want to get one for boxing. So that would be one of my goals that I still need to accomplish.
Hey man, it's one of the things I think why Bellator is a better option for a lot of people right now. Because maybe the matchup that you're wanting isn't there for you yet. Maybe the person's matched up, or you don't have to wait around for that matchup. You can go and we're going to do a fight in Israel where we're also going to have a kickboxing match. We can match you up on a card there until X fighter has their fight on a later card. So you're not completely stuck sitting there waiting around. Like, I know a lot of people were kind of destroying Demetrius Johnson for not taking the TJ Dillashaw fight, but I kind of agree with him. Like, if the fight doesn't make sense for you, why should you just take it because that's what they're offering you? Granted, he's the champion, but the guy's not a contender in his weight class. But it's the ability to have options outside of just what that one fight that is being offered. It's why I think Bellator is becoming more of a viable option for a lot of fighters.
Yeah, but I mean, like anything, you're gonna have those problems. I like where he stands as far as for somebody like myself. I keep getting jumped in front of with McDonald, Lorenz, all these guys, Ben Anderson. They're coming in from the UFC. And they're automatically getting offered title shots, where it's like we've already put in 4 fights, 4 wins, 5 wins in a row, and we're getting jumped in front of. So I could see where he was like, listen, this isn't right. Ray Borg already earned his shot. We already agreed to the fight with Ray Borg. That's the fight we want. That's the fight we agreed with. Let's get it done. So, I kind of agree with that, like in that sense. I understand where they're coming from, like, the big paydays and stuff like that, and who doesn't want that, but if that's his stance,
right.
I understand. Lima, when Lima said, hey, I'd like to fight McDonald, I want to fight McDonald. So, of course, I can't get mad at him for that, but that's when the promotion kind of, I feel like the promotion needs to kind of step it up and take care of us on the back end where we're still getting good fights, but we're getting paid decent money, we want that title shot so we get that pay as well, so we know that we're not struggling anymore. So that's the main part.
That's another thing I want to ask you. You've been in Bellator since for 2 different ownerships. Is what you're getting now better than the Bjorn Rebney era? I mean, is it better all around, not just the opportunities?
Well, don't get me wrong. I love the promotion. They take care of me in the sense where I keep getting nothing but good fights. That's what I've asked for. And I'm still getting paid more than what I started off in the circuits, in the lower circuit. But, if I look at it now, it's still enough to get me to my next fight. So once I start making enough money where I have $100,000 in the bank or something like that, then the stress is gone of me worrying about that. Another one's coming, I'm good. But we're not there yet. in a sense where I've already had quite a bit of fights, and we're still kind of, I got $4 grand to make it to my next fight. Yeah. You got like 4
You're spinning wheels, so to speak. You haven't broken through to the next level, which is what you're waiting for. I get what you're saying.
And Maniac, too, you want to have that extra. You want to have that extra money too. So if something does happen in the cage where you need medical assistance, then you're not struggling to pay these medical bills as well.
But they take care of that.
They do?
We're licensed. Yeah, they have insurance for us. If we get injured in the ring, they'll take care of that. But
that's commendable, then.
Yeah, I mean, it's all workable. Like everything's just more. I know if. That's why I keep calling out these big name guys. Like if I want to get that payday, I need to fight them. But I'm asking for the name. If they give them to me, then I'm gonna get paid bigger bucks. So I'm asking for them, and hopefully one of them takes me up on it. But I know they got McDonald and Larkin right now to get through. So hopefully after their squash are done with, I get to fight some of them.
Well, I mean. Not to sit there and put names like I've had Derek Anderson on the show before. I know he takes fights whenever, wherever. Kind of sounds like it would be a fun matchup for you. Maybe while you're waiting to see what happens at the top of that welterweight division, you take a fight with a guy like a Derek Anderson to kind of keep the ball rolling, keep the money going in, and hopefully keep the winds going in your direction to get to that title fight.
Oh, that's whatever, like. Wherever they offer me, I know me and Derek, we've actually trained together in the past, but I know he's going to take it if they offer it, just like I'm going to take it if they offer it. Anybody else that's in the division, we got to take it if they're offering the fights, whoever it is. Yeah, whoever it is, But I'm obviously asking for, and they've been giving me nothing but tough fights, and I've proven that I can hang with these guys. I just want to prove that I'm the champion. So I keep asking for Lima, and I keep asking for whoever holds that belt, because I've already proven that I can hang. My only losses are controversial losses. I had both guys running for me in the third round. So to me, that's not an actual loss. I know on score points it is, but in an actual fight, I won. So to me, I'm undefeated still, and I want to get in there and prove myself against this champion.
I hope you get the opportunity, brother. You know, every time I've watched you throw down, it's one of those fights where you're on the edge of your seat. You making an exciting fight. You're not one of these guys who plays the point battle. Like, all right, I won the first 2 rounds. Let's just kind of coast here in the third. You're the type of fighter that if you got 2 rounds up on you, you're waiting for this guy to make a mistake so you can put him away. Not kind of ride out the last 5 minutes to see what happens when the judges render their decision. That's, I think, one of your qualities that you have over a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and honestly, this is why I'm really pumped up for my next opponent, because he's the same way. He comes forward, he loves to bang, and I know we're gonna give an exciting fight. So honestly, once I got the call that they said I was fighting Brennan Ward, I was like, shit, all right, let's go, let's get ready. Honestly, I got pumped up for this fight, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we were talking about a fighter, Ian Kudalaba, and Kudalaba reminds me of Ward and the way he comes forward like that too. And like we were talking earlier, those make for exciting fights. That's what people want to see. They want to see guys go at each other. And I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, for sure, man. If you see, he's never been in a boring fight. You know what I mean?
No.
He comes forward, and neither have I. So I know between both of us, our styles is just it's gonna make for an exciting fight. Honestly, I think I'm gonna win, but
you better.
I know. Yeah. You're not gonna go into thinking that. So, but no, man, I was pumped up as soon as I heard that. I was like, fuck, we're gonna get ready for an exciting fight. So. I'm training my ass off right now, and then I'm getting ready for him.
Yeah, August can't come soon enough, huh?
Hell yeah. Plus I get to travel again. I love traveling, man. It's just something new, get to see a different spot. So I'm excited about it.
New York.
Yeah.
Now, as we get ready to close this down and end tonight's interview, Fernando, what we typically do with all our guests is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might have, charities you're working with, anything you want to say at all, my friend. The time is yours.
Awesome, thank you. I'd like to thank all my team that helped me, spar and get ready for my fights over at Team Quest and at Team Quest San Jacinto. CVAC, one of my main sponsors right now, who been helping me with my strength and recovery. Dr. Toy Chiropractic, Heritage Tattoo, SoCal Fresh. Those guys been helping me out a lot with my diet and keeping my weight down. Thank you. Thanks to those guys and thanks Bellator, man, for giving me another exciting fight. I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to get in there and throw down.
I'm sure you're gonna leave them with something to remember after that fight. I don't think you're capable of a boring fight, neither is Brennan. So the fans should be on the edge of their seats for that one. And I almost forgot that you trained over at Team Quest, because you got a room full of people pushing you in so many different ways. We've had Steven Cazzolo on here in the past. He's another amazing prospect that I think a lot of people really don't know too much about yet, and that guy has the tools to be a champion as well. Also, I think Alexis Dufresne also just got locked up with another fight. I believe she's another Team Quest fighter there. So you guys have got a lot of good guys and girls in the room. I can't wait to see what other gems kind of get unturned in that training room.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we got like 4 or 5 other guys in the room that haven't even been seen yet. Like, ridiculous. I'm trying to get them on Bellator. Like, when they call, like, hey, if you guys ever need somebody, this guy drops out. We have, I'm always throwing their name in there because, honestly, there's some really, really talented guys that are coming in the room, and they just need their show. They need that opportunity. It took me a long time to get mine, so if I could help these guys in any kind of way, I would love to, man. Any other show, too. Isaiah Alvarado and Paul Webb, those two come to mind right away, Tough guys, strikers, and, man, they can fight.
That's what you want to do as a teammate. Not, you see it happen more and more that when, when we have some of these interviews and we talk to you guys about your gym, you spend more time talking about the other guys in the training room that people don't know or haven't heard of yet over, as like I mentioned, two named fighters that people can easily go and look up, where you're talking about guys that probably I don't even have no clue who's there yet, and you'd be like, wait do you see who this one is? He's going to make that one look like nothing. So it's one of the things why I love talking to you guys, because it gives us the opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more about who else is in the room with you, who's pushing you guys.
Well, yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, there's so many good guys, but they just need that breakthrough right now. And I think it's hard to see because I've been in the sport for a long time. There's similar guys that were just like them that eventually either got an injury or they just weren't making enough money and they had to go get full-time jobs, and it's kind of sad to see, man, because they have a lot of talent. And they could have made it big, but just the timing wasn't right for them. And that's why, like I say, I know that I have these guys in the room now. So if anybody hears this, hopefully they can, get a hold of us and throw these guys on some shows so they can get some exposure.
And sometimes it's not even about getting them on Bellator. If you at least get them to, have someone like King of the Cage or somebody, pick them up for a few fights to get some exposure, or CES over there at Access TV or Legacy Fighting Alliance. You get them a shot on there. Sometimes that's all they need.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know RFA was doing real good with their feeding guys to the UFC. So I'm sure any. I just don't have no contacts. I wish I had more contacts with these guys, but
sometimes all you got to do is hit up social media.
Yeah. Sure.
Sometimes, literally, I mean, it's crazy to say that nowadays. Sometimes really all you need to do is have social media, send out a tweet, tag a few people, and
voila.
Exactly. But Fernando, it was a pleasure finally getting you on here, picking your brain, talking some MMA with you. Really looking forward to the fight with you and Brendan. As we say to our guests, man, best of skill. Hopefully both of you guys get out of there injury-free and put on an exciting fight. Hopefully you get the result you're looking for.
Man, thank you. Appreciate it.